Alright, good evening, good people. So the title of Tuesday night's video was SPX to 5,000, and there you have it. We pretty much got there yesterday. We got within like 10 or 11 cents. And today we got the official smooch, a brand new all-time high of 5,000 bucks and 40 cents. So for those of you that were tuning into the pre-market call yesterday, we had that 4-hour squeeze there in the S&P futures. And all said and done, that turned out to be my best futures trade so far. And I'm going to cover that in a different video. Guys, this thing was perfect. Really good example of the power of the nested squeeze. We had a squeeze on the 4-hour, the 1-hour, the 30, the 15, and the 5-minute. More importantly, a really good example of multi-time frame alignment. The structure, the momentum, the big three signals from a 4-hour chart all the way down to a 1-minute. Beautifully aligned for a push higher. So now the question is, we have reached the big bad 5,000. What's next? Time for a pullback. Do we break out? Are we going to 5,100? Now, bigger picture, let us not forget, we are coming out of that monthly squeeze here. It only fired 3 months ago. So as far as the buildup of energy and the release of energy, as far as the monthly squeeze is concerned, it's all pretty brand new. Just fired, we're not too extended, and we have that upside target of just about 5,150. Now here's the thing, I think we can get there. I'm not going to doubt the fact that a squeeze could work as advertised and take you right into that upside target. The tricky thing is all of your lower time frames, they are pretty extended. They're really freaking extended. So over on the big three board, alright, no problems, no warning signs, everything's green. Everything is bullish. The QQQ is 3 average true range moves above the weekly 21. The S&Ps are 3.2. The Dowski is 3, and small caps not as extended. But then again, they are the small caps. So to be completely honest, I don't know what's next. I don't have a great read on it. I don't have the same moment in time we had on Tuesday morning. Bunch of squeezes, really good signals. This is definitely a bit of a trickier spot. The major thing you want to consider is it's not so much about what works this time around, what works tomorrow, what works this week. You want to think about the duration of your trading career. What kinds of rules, what kinds of mindsets, what kinds of disciplines are going to serve you well for 10, 15, 20, 30, hopefully 50 plus years. And one rule that I try to live by, when the weekly charts are this overbought, I've got to chill out on the swing trades. Doesn't mean I can't get long, doesn't mean I can't look for another trade. It just means ideally, I'm not going to bed with a bunch of calls. I can take those calls to lunch, I can wine them and dine them. When the day is all said and done, I got to drop them off at home. I can't take them back home with me. A good example of how cooked we are, and I can't stress enough, we might keep pushing. Take Meta for example. All right, let me get my calculator here. So the old Meta Fagetta. Where the hell's my calculator? There it is. Okay, so never mind the weekly 21. All the way down there at 360. Look at the 3 ATR extension. That's right around 430-ish. So today we close at 470. You've got the weekly 3 ATR at 430. Meta is trading about 9% above that weekly 3 ATR. You are not going to see that too often. All right, put that into its proper perspective. Meta could gap down 10%. The weekly chart would still be very overbought. In terms of really good risk-reward, they could gap it down 10%. You're not really at a spot where I think you want to jump in and buy calls. The 21 EMA all the way down there at 360. That's 23% below the current price. What that implies is tomorrow morning, Meta could gap down 20%. Nothing's changed. Weekly chart is still bullish. You got your buy signals, good structure. That's some pretty sick stuff right there. If you can gap down 20% and still look really, really good. An even crazier example is SMCI. Closes at 700, we'll call it. The +3 extension's down at 545. Tomorrow morning, it can gap down 20%. It is still overbought. The 21 EMA at 365. 48% below the current price. That is some crazy shit, man. Some crazy shit. So yeah, the only point I'm trying to make is the market could go up for another 100 days in a row. Day trade it. The same thing you want to look for on a weekly squeeze or a daily squeeze for a swing trade. Go find that on a 5-minute, a 15-minute, a 30-minute, a 1 hour. You completely eliminate the risk of you hold calls overnight. You wake up tomorrow morning, you heat up your coffee, and boom. The unthinkable happens and the market actually pulls back. That might take a nuclear war, that might take an asteroid, that might require the return of the dinosaurs. Probabilities-wise, not the craziest idea to think that sometime soon, we just might get a little bit of a pullback. So day trade it. And as far as day trade setups, let's pull up the board here. So one thing I put together tonight for the Mastery members is this Big 3 score sheet. I've got the indices, I've got all my favorite stocks, I've got pretty much all the top holdings from the major sectors. And we've got the Big 3 scores from the monthly chart down to the 15-minute. This column gives you a total score. The best possible score for the bulls across those 8 time frames, 80 points, and the best score for the bears, of course, -80. So a few names here, right? BKNG, perfect 80. The Dow's a perfect 80. Microsoft is 78. AMAT is a 77. Who else is looking good here? LRCX, SMCI. On lower time frames, a few of these might have a squeeze. One that I like here tonight, the 4-hour squeeze in LRCX. And I'll admit, for a day trade, I like a 1 hour 30, 15, 5. But that 4-hour squeeze, if you get a good entry, that can take you into that target ideally in one session. SMCI. We've got a 5-minute. That one's not the greatest. What else we got here? Who else is looking bullish? Let's go see maybe AMAT. Point being, though, I want to find the strongest stocks. And until the market actually pulls back, I want to day trade squeezes on lower time frames. AMAT's got a 15-minute squeeze. Let's go check the Microsoft. And that's a little bit more like it. There we go. Okay, that's a really good example. Total Big 3 score of, where is she? 78 out of 80. 2 points away from perfect from head to toe. 15-minute squeeze and a slingshot signal. And then we'll check out the 30 here and we'll call it a video. Yeah, beautiful 30-minute squeeze. Again, the beauty is it's a really good setup. It's the same thing as a weekly squeeze, same thing as a daily squeeze. As long as that signal can print, that squeeze can take you into 415, 416-ish. The beauty of it is you're not going to get caught here in a pullback to the daily 21. If you do, shame on you, but for a day trade, you buy it here, you take it off on the break of that 21, and you're looking for 416-ish. No different than a monthly squeeze, no different than a bigger time frame squeeze. Find the strongest stocks, day trade them off lower time frames, and then if we do get a pullback, then we're looking for bigger weekly and daily squeezes. Now, as far as when can I short the market, I'll keep it nice and simple. I can't think about doing that until I get an hourly sell signal on the SPX. Since October 30th, we've only gotten them on 2 occasions. If they print that, I can look for a short. Until then, I'm day trading squeezes on lower time frames. Alright, y'all, have a good night. As always, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like and that subscribe button. If you want to check out the big 3 indicators and the mastery, link is in the description, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Adios.